The return. It's episode 8 of season 3. It is the season finale of The Mandalorian, and boom, do we have a decent episode here. I don't think it was as good as the last episode, which I gave a 7. I think this one, personally, is a wee bit worse, but we'll get to it. Maybe when I'm talking about it, I feel like it's a wee bit better. You'll never know here, guys. But we kick off the episode. We've got the wolves, basically the wolves even. Her, Kreese, they're all trying to get out of there. Basically, everyone finds out here that Moff Gideon has set up shop at the Mandalorian fleet. But we kind of already knew this. Did you know, Pedro, the Mandalorian? Mando, he's trying to make his way out. He manages to free himself of the guards, and then he's helped by Grogu, who of course is still at this point riding the IG-12, which I thought was pretty funny. Mando then warns Kreese that we have to sort ourselves out here and we have to take on Moff Gideon because he's fighting Grogu and everybody's safe, so we have to lay the smackdown. So at this point, this is when we see Moff Gideon put his helmet on. Of course, he's basically ready to go to fight here. We get R5-D2. He descends into the underground base and he starts repairing the network terminal here. We're basically just preparing for a big square off against between Mando and Moff Gideon. But then a bunch of the commandos appear. We got Mando taking on the commandos. Mando taking on the commandos. Oh, down over me. And essentially, Mando is basically destroying all these things. Then we got the survivor captain. He arrives on the scene. He leads Kreese into this cave. It's full of plants, and it's Mandalore is rebuilt. The captain explains that we've survived here, and there's food caches throughout Mandalore. And yes, this is we can live here. This has existed before the Mandalorian civil wars. And due to the planet being abandoned, everything has started thriving again. The armor then tells Kreese that reinforcements have arrived. And then this is basically we get the final showdown. The Mandalorians kick major ass here. They don't really, no one really relevant dies. We kind of had that at the end of last episode when the big man sadly perished. But here we've got Wolves who's still in the ship. The rest of the Mandalorians manage to flee. And then he begins to crash the ship into Mandalore essentially here. But at this point we have got Grogu, who is under attack by 3 Praetorians, and then Mando steps in. But you know what, Grogu actually did a decent job here, to be fair. And at this point we've got Mando taking on Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon's just too much, and then he basically tags in his tag team partner, which of course is Kreese, and then essentially 2-on-1, and also with Grogu, it becomes 3-on-1. He uses the Force to Kreese to save everybody, and then, oh hell no, Big Moff Gideon tries to kill Grogu, but then he misses because guess what? Mando stepped in front of the bullets. Then as the plane crashes, the big ship, bang, it blows up, but because of Grogu and his Force powers, he puts a magical force field around them. So yes, Kreese, Mando and Grogu are all safe. Then essentially we get a ceremony here in the living waters, in the mines of Mandalore. Everyone becomes a Mandalore thing. Grogu is no longer a foundling, but he basically becomes an apprentice, but he can't actually, since he can't speak, he's too young. But then they're oh well, actually Mando's well, if his parents gave him permission, would it be alright? And Armor's nope, because his parents are probably dead. And then he's well, then I will adopt him. So shit, Mando has adopted Grogu here at this point. And then essentially, yeah, everything's alright, and looks like they're going to live a peaceful life. We've got Mando. He looks like he's going to do a few wee tasks here. Wee jobber tasks with his wee apprentice, and we've got Grogu lifting up a frog as they sit outside their new cabin. But yeah, Moff Gideon is dead, which is kind of surprising. Didn't necessarily see that one happening, but again, That is him dead. We kind of thought, well, after the end of last season, we probably wouldn't see him again, but here we are, guys, in the season finale. But I'm glad I've managed to finish it, because guess what? I always finish series that I start troops, and there'll be a lot of new content coming. And yeah, I'm going to give this episode a 6. It wasn't as good as the last one, but a decent enough ending to a pretty awful season. So until next time, peace.